guys, and welcome back to another episode of Underrail. And on this episode, we're going to be continuing where we left off. Now, on the last episode, we just got done talking to Hadrian Tanner over here in his office, and he gave us a few little updates, things that we might want to try to do. And if you're ever, unsure of where you need to go, you can always check your notes. If you come in here and it's blank, just click this little arrow right here on the top right corner, and it should bring down what notes you have on there. So it wants us to talk to Pascal on the medical level. Definitely something we are going to do because you're going to use that guy a whole lot in this game, so get very accustomed to where he's at. We also need to talk to Harold on the engineering level to find out how to reactivate the power generator in the outpost to the north. That, of course, you have to do for the quest, but before you even go out on the quest, there's tons and tons of people to talk to, which we're going to get to one after another. And, of course, we have retrieved the package from the barracks at SGS Station, platform near the tunnel, and take it to the warehouse south of GMS compound. That's not something we're going to be messing with for quite some time, so don't worry about that one. But there's a lot of people to talk to in here, and I asked you guys on the last one, what would you prefer me to do? Go through it nice and slow, or kind of go through all this stuff that we've already gone through rather quickly or off camera? And you guys have said that you wanted to see it all, because it is the new game. Like, there's the old game that we played where it was still in development, and this is the finished product. So you guys want to see everything brand new. I am more than fine with going through all this stuff because I'm quite curious myself. So we have a few places we can go through. I'm going to go through each and every one of them, give you a little bit of information about each one, and then we're going to go through and actually go to every level and talk to everybody in there. It's going to be probably 2 or 3 episodes before we even ever get out to fight, because there's a lot of stuff to go through on here, hours of stuff. So we got the lower Underrail station platform and barracks. That's where the guy wants us to go pick up the package. We're not doing that just yet. I would highly suggest not going to that one. You will get killed. You will get wrecked. No matter what class you are playing, you're not going to be able to do that at level 1. You need a few levels and some armor to definitely to be able to have a chance at doing that one. Armory and shooting range, we've already been there. That's a really good place to go to practice your weapons and things of that sort. A nice place to check out every so often to buy new stuff as well. Administration and library, that's not really that useful. I think I've only gone there like a handful of times, and it's only ever for a quest. Like, there's just not a lot down there. Private quarters, you're going to get used to going there. That's where you store all of your stuff from your little missions outside and things of that sort that you want to hold on to. Medical and psionics, this is again one of the places you're going to go to tons in this game. It's one of the easiest places to get healed rather than using your stim packs or your bandages. Go to talk to the doctor and he will heal you up, completely like brand new. Engineering and cyber labs, that's pretty much what it says it is, and you're going to go there on occasion, not too often, but if you go down a certain path versus other paths, you may go to engineering for, that kind of stuff. The pins and agronomy, I can't pronounce that word, that's why I wasn't going to even try. Yeah, that is something you're going to go to for several quests as well. We're going to check out each and every one of them, but we're going to go ahead and start with the medical, because I think that is the most important one in this entire game, because the very first playthrough I went through on this, I didn't know you could come over here and talk to the doctor and get healed up, and I went through so many stim packs that it was ridiculous. And then once I found out that you could do it, hacking 90, so we do not have the skill to go in there yet, but that's definitely something we can build up to and take advantage of. I'm going to turn the light switch on. Actually, I'm going to turn it back because I don't need the dark. I'm not really worried about the dark. If you're, a stealth class, you can go ahead and turn that off and have a little bit of an advantage. But you got to remember you're inside town, and towns are just really, really hard to steal from what I've seen. So here we go. We got Pascal right here. We're going to talk to him and see what he has to say. Ah, hello. First of all, let me congratulate you on your admittance to our little station. I'm sure you'll love it here. It's good that you came. I actually wanted to talk to you about some of the results from all of those tests we did earlier. Is there something wrong with me? What exactly? I'm going to ask him what exactly, because I don't want to, take the position like there's something wrong with me right off the bat, like I'm a worrywart, I'm kind of already assuming the worst. You see, test results show that you have certain amounts of psionic potential. The what? I'm not derailed. What? What? I don't understand. I'm not derailed? You mean like I can read people's minds? Yeah. How much potential? So how much potential would assume that you already know what he's talking about? You mean like I can read people's minds would assume that you're kind of weird. You know, like you don't know anything about what he's talking about. Or the what, basically, is he caught you off guard. So I guess we're going to go with the silly one. You mean I could read people's minds? He chuckles. Even he thought it was kind of silly. No, not really. Well, not yet anyways. Perhaps one day, if you trained your mind right. Okay, let me just tell you a bit about psionic potential first. It's a relatively rare, inheritable, complex genetic trait that triggers development of certain otherwise latent components in the brain. It allows a person to perform some subtle psionic invocations, such as influencing the mind of others, as well as some not-so-subtle ones, such as causing radical temperature changes and telekinetic manipulations. So how do I realize this potential? How did this genetic trait come to be, or came to be? Should be come to be, right? I don't know, that might be fine. All this sounds disturbing. I don't want any psionic mumbo-jumbo going on in my head. So we're gonna go with inquire about how did this came to be. I already know the answer because we've already done Let's Plays of it, but I want to see if the conversation has changed from the last time, because they have made some definitely nice, you know, upgrades to the conversation. So it's gonna be interesting to see where this goes. No one is really sure. Research indicates that it's a relatively recent genetic mutation, but it sure could have been a random one. Or could not have been a random one, I should say. So many things about it are just too complex and convenient to be anything but artificially designed. There are problems with this theory, though. Former BioCore head of genetic research, Hal Roch, outlines these problems best in his thesis. I won't bore you with the details, but the essence of the problem is that which the technology that we currently have at our disposal, creating, testing, and integrating such complex genetic structure is simply not possible without a colossal amount of trial and error work. So much trial and error work, Roch argued that even if you combined all the genetic processors in the world in his time and let them work on the subject for the entire time of their existence, they would still be extremely unlikely to produce these results. Furthermore, Roch pointed out that there are areas of the brain where the psionic activity takes place were never even properly charted, let alone genetically decoded. You see, it's a bit of a mystery. We know much more about how to make it work than how it actually works. Interesting, or enough already, you could have just said you don't know. Which, in essence, is exactly what he's kind of telling you. But he's telling you it in such a way to basically tell you that it was probably done, but not by humans on the planet, you know, like it maybe by some other kind of thing that might be hinting at something. And I'm not giving anything away because I have not beat this game. So I never found out an answer to what created this and where it came from. Some of you guys watching may already know more about it than I do. I'm just kind of spitballing here, and that's why I don't mind kind of leaning towards or telling you guys where I think it might be going. I think it might have something to do with a race of people out there or something that that just is older than we think they are or something. You know, you never know with these stories. It's just kind of interesting that they throw that in there. So I'm going to go with interesting because that's exactly what I said when I read it. Indeed it is. Anyways, is there anything else you wanted to know? So how do I realize this potential? All these sound disturbing. No, we don't want to do that. I want to say, how do I realize this potential, even though I am not going to activate mine on this one? I could, but I'm not going to. I want to go down the SMG route. You, of course, can do both if you really want to, but I've already done a mage build before. Very, very cool class. Fantastic. I would highly recommend trying it. Really fun and kind of OP in my opinion, but that's not the route we're going to go on this one. So I'm going to leave it out altogether if I can and just kind of concentrate on other aspects. So let's see, how do I realize this potential? You must first disable your psionic inhibitor. It's a neural structure in your brain that prevents you from accessing your psionic projector centers. We assume it was designed to prevent the infants from unwittingly harming themselves or those around them. There are ways to do this by extended meditation, but this can take years. We have more effective methods nowadays. He reaches into his pocket and takes out a large red pill. This pill will take care of the inhibitor right away, but there is one side effect I am obliged to mention. The majority of users experience immediate and significant weakness of their immune system, and when I say majority, I mean everyone. Therefore, the choice is yours. Is this process painful or dangerous? Well, he basically just answered that one. You know, he just told you it's gonna be both. You know, it's gonna hurt. Forget it, Doc. I'm not doing it. I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. All right, I'll take it. Do I need to prepare myself somehow? Take the pill and swallow it? Let me ask something else first. Forget it, Doc. I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. Well, I didn't do it this way last time. I did it from the medical. I took the pill and had it activated. You're supposed to be able to talk to somebody and have it activated by meditation. I don't really want to activate it at all. So I could just say, forget it, I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. I think that will exit out of this as well. Or I can just say, let me ask you something else first. And I guess we're just going to go with this one because it will probably get rid of the conversation text in his choice. So I don't have to keep seeing it pop up. Or at least maybe it might. So we'll go ahead and say, he sighs, let your time to waste. I can help you with that, though. I'm a doctor, not a monk. Okay, so you have to go find a monk. Come to me if you change your mind. But we didn't get all the information from you, did we? Do you have anything to trade or barter? Let's talk about my psionic. We don't want to talk about that. So let's see what you have. He has 452 credits. Remember, they only have a certain amount of credits, and if you sell to them, they will take your credits and it will add to theirs. If you if you sell to them, they will take their credits and give it to you. If you buy from them, vice versa. So if they run out of credits, you can sell to them if they still want some of the stuff from you, but you won't get anything in return. So you have to do like a trade, and you'll have to get stuff from them. The Health Hypo Blueprint, I would highly suggest getting this, but not right off the bat. You would think it'd be fantastic right off the bat, but you're not going to have the stuff you need for a little while, and you're not going to have the skill to make the stuff you need for a little while as well. So wait a couple levels, and then come over here and buy it. You're going to need it, but you know, it's not that big of a deal. The Psi Boosters were fantastic when they first put them in the game, but now that your mana, your power actually recharges over time when you're out of combat, you don't even need them. Like I never used these things except for in like really big battles where you might have gone through all your power, but if you go down the mage route, you're more than a match for pretty much anybody you ever come against, so you don't really need to worry about that. Some of these other things are things that you will use in making other recipes. Vials, definitely I would suggest getting a whole bunch of those, as well as ampules. Anytime you see these, buy every single one of them. You're going to be using them like crazy when it comes to making potions and things of that sort. You're also use them to get rid of like poison sacks and things that you get off of monsters that weigh like 6 pounds a piece, but when you convert them down into their base component, they go down to like 0.1 pound or something like that. It's ridiculous how little it weighs, and you want that extra weight. That's a good way to clear up a whole bunch of weight that you have on your guy without coming back to town. And the vials, they barely weigh anything as well, so definitely pick up a whole bunch of those. Syringes, again, you need the syringes to make your health hypos. You're going to have to buy a few of those, probably a whole bunch of those. Not too expensive, though, thankfully, so that's kind of nice. Flat beaker, never really used them, so they're probably used for something a little bit more advanced than the rest of the stuff. Adrenaline shots, they're kind of nice, but I never really used those either. Again, mage didn't have to, and they're kind of costly, and they're not exactly the easiest thing to make. Antidotes, it's useful. I would get a few of them, but don't use them too often because, again, it's expensive. Bandages and health hypos. You're going to want as many of these as you can possibly get. You're just not going to want to buy them. They're really expensive, and you're going to go through them like crazy. So use them when you have them if you absolutely need it, but if you don't have to use it, come back to town. You know, come back over here and get healed up. You may have to make several trips, but it's going to be worth it for you in the end, guys. Morphine shot, and then, of course, the Psi boosters. And you guys know what that does. It just kind of restores your Psi energy, almost like a health hypo does. It's kind of nice. You're definitely going to want to use those on occasion, like when you get into those big battles and stuff like that. But overall, you're not going to have to use too many of them, hopefully. You got the surgeon. If you want to buy something, talk to Pascal. I'm busy. So you got some lockers over here. You got some stuff you might be able to steal from them if you happen to be going down that route. If you're not going down that route, I highly suggest don't even look inside those things. You'll get the aggro, you'll get attacked and stuff, and it's just not going to be good for you. It does look like the beds have gotten better. I don't remember these beds looking this nice, but I like it. I like it a lot. Shh, let him rest. Well, what if I don't want to let him rest? Well, I want to come over here and punch him in his face. Right? He's laying down on the job, man. What's his deal? What was he doing? Did he get collapsed in the tunnel? I don't know. You can't even really see what happened to him. But anytime you see these things that you can look inside that are orange, definitely look inside them. But 90% of the time, the reason they're orange is because there's absolutely nothing in it, and that's why they're letting you look, because they're not worried about you stealing anything or being tempted to steal something. Now there is a light switch that you can turn off, and that's going to be a little bit better, but you're going to need a pretty high skill because this guy never leaves. I've never seen him go anywhere else but here, and he's always watching, always watching. So yeah, if you want to use the weights, please put them back on the rack when you're done. Well, I wish I could use the weights. That would actually be kind of cool to come in here and like exercise and get better at stuff. I do have the target. Yeah, let's do it. Let's come over here and punch something. Punch it, guy. Punch it. You can do it. Yeah. Oh, wow, look at that. Look how many misses, man. You don't get better, though. You never get better by attacking, so don't worry, you know, about coming in here and just doing this over and over and over again. And you can't destroy this either, from what I've remember in the earlier game. But what you can do is wear your weapon away and waste bullets. So make sure that you don't have anything equipped when you go in there. And I don't think I actually have any weapons yet. Yeah, I have to go down to the Armory, I believe, and actually get my stuff. So we might do that here in a bit. Now that we've talked to him. Actually, let's do that real quick, because I do need to get my stuff. So let's go down to the Armory and the shooting range, and we'll talk to Gorski, and we'll look at the shop and see, you know, what he has for sale. This is going to be the shop that you're going to spend probably 90% of your time selling at, because the stuff you pick up, unlike in other games where if you pick up a turtle shell or something along those lines, you can sell it to anybody. If you pick up a suit of armor, you can sell it to anybody. These guys will only buy stuff that they sell themselves. So he sells weapons and he sells armor, which means that's pretty much all he buys. If you want to sell poisons, you have to go to a guy who buys and sells those himself. So yeah, this is going to be majority of the stuff you find out there. And he's Lucas, so let's talk to him. A short man rises from behind his desk with the grenade case in his hand. The heavy case meets the top of the desk with a thud. Raises your eyebrow, which in turn makes the man's face turn into a smile. He removes his glove and shakes your hand with a strong, perhaps too strong grip before addressing you. Don't worry, I ain't gonna blow us up. Nope. Anyway, Van Sil told me you'll be studying with us for a while, or you'll be staying with us for a while. I can't believe my reading is so crappy tonight. Guess so. Well, friend, make yourself at home. I want to trade, barter. Can I have my weapon back, please? I gotta go, actually. We're gonna ask him for a weapon back, and then we're gonna come back in here and check out the trade just to see what he has. Of course. It was the 5mm pistol and some ammo, if I recall correctly, right? This one, he produces a pistol in such bad condition, people would pay to get rid of it. It was a 5mm pistol, but not that one. Actually, no, I had a crossbow. Guns are for wusses. All I need is a knife. I don't know if any of these actually work. These were never... I don't remember these being an option, so... We definitely don't want a crossbow. Those things suck. The knife might come in handy if you're going down melee, but I think we're going to say, yeah, that was the pistol, but not that one. We don't want one that is broken, basically. Then who's... Oh, this is Newton's. Haha, my bad. Anyways, here's your gun. He hands you a pistol and some ammo. There, now that you got that, may I interest you in a couple more things? Oh, yeah, let's see what you got, man. Wow, he has quite a few things here. Okay, so we have an SMG right off the bat, guys. Definitely want to try to get that. Of course, minimum weapon skill is 30. So you definitely want to raise up your weapon skill to use this thing. But SMGs are going to be freaking awesome. It's a 7.62mm Jagger LS. Damage is 8 to 16 mechanical. Impact speed is medium. Base action points is 12 AP. That's not too bad. 12 AP is not really a whole lot of AP to spend for an attack. Distance, range is 9, but the optimal range is 6, which means if he's 6 squares away from you, you're going to have a better chance of hitting the target. but it can hit up to 9 squares away from you before it gets so bad on its range that it's not going to hit him. You're going to have like a 1% chance or something to hit the guy, and it's not going to be worth it for you. Precision is 10% extra, which is kind of nice. Critical chance 4%, critical damage bonus 100%. So you only have a 4% chance of getting that critical hit, but 100% damage bonus when you do get that hit. So that's really nice. And then magazine capacity, that's something you also want to watch out for. 25. 25 is really nice. It means you don't have to reload very often, because some of these other guns will have a very, very small magazine, like this handgun over here. Let's see, magazine size is 20. That's actually really nice. That's 25 though. Let's see, that one's even 30 on the magazine, and it does a little bit more damage. That's 8, 16. No, that one does less damage, but it has a bigger magazine capacity. 7 to 10, 30 rounds. Let's see, 7.62. Yeah, these are not bad. Of course, these are all pistols. You got the sledgehammer, which are really, really, really powerful. Do not underestimate the power of a good sledgehammer. Unfortunately, you got to get really close to use it. And then, of course, look at the weight. It's 23.75 pounds. That is just outrageous. That is going to weigh you down so much. I'm only 17 out of 180, but that's because I have a lot of strength. I mean, I played characters that were like 90 on its strength. You can imagine with armor that weighs 20-something pounds, and then this stuff that weighs 20-something pounds, by the time you outfit your character, you're close to or already overweight. And that's going to slow you down not only in a fight, but when you're out of a fight, you're going to be walking a lot slower. So definitely keep that in mind when going through this. You got the HE mines. These are really, really cool. Unfortunately, you have to have the skill, first of all, to put them down. And then you have to put them down and let the enemy walk over them. So if you put them down and the enemy spots you and he shoots you with a gun, he never gets close to you. These things are wasted. So you only really want to use these things if you can go into stealth, watch the enemy how he like walks around a room or something like that, or a robot how it drives around a certain path, and then put this thing down in front of it and let it explode on top of it, and then you'll get the damage and the experience for killing it. These also do sell for quite a bit of money, so if you do have the skill to put them down, you also have the skill to pick them back up, to disarm, and you'll get the ability to sell them or reuse them if you want. These mechanical repair kits, I would highly suggest getting the recipe for these things and then being able to make them yourself. You're going to go through a lot of these things because a lot of your stuff is going to be mechanical. Your weapons are mechanical. Your armor at some point will be metal armor that needs to be repaired as well. Right now it's fabric, and you just need the fabric repair kits, but you definitely want to get all the lockpicks. You don't have very many lockpicks to start with, or you don't have any lockpicks to start with, I should say. Do I have any cash? I do have a little bit of cash. So we're going to go ahead and get the lockpicks because we need those. Otherwise, you just can't open anything. We also need to keep a lookout for... We have our Omni tool, but we do not have the scanner. Okay, so we need to look out for that as well. It's going to be in one of these guys. Let's see. We also have the adaptive goggles. Pretty nice, but we don't need those yet. The cocktails and the grenades. These grenades and the cocktails can all be thrown at enemies, so you can, engage the enemy, throw it at them from afar. The cocktails will throw a large area on fire, and people who are caught inside have a really good chance of catching on fire as well. And fire does a ton, guys, of damage. So it's definitely worth getting if you're going to be taking on big groups of enemies. But watch out, because you can catch on fire too. Unless, of course, you have armor that makes it... makes you immune to fire. There's a few pieces out there like that. The grenades, they just do basically that first initial hit, which is a lot of damage, and then they do shrapnel, which is a bleeding damage effect after the initial explosion, which is not too bad, but I never really used them all that much. The EMP grenades for attacking robots, definitely something you should look into. And then, of course, boots. Boots, they range in all sorts of different skills and things of that sort. These increase your stealth and agility, which is good for those kind of casters. And then you'll find all the pieces you need to actually make armor and weapons and the molds and the things to improve the defense and all that other stuff that goes along with it. There's a lot of crafting in this game if you really want to get into it. It's there for you. You also have throwing knives, which I never really did, so I might actually be able to buy some of those down the road and use them. You also got different shock bolts and serrated bolts. Those are for the crossbow, which we're not using. The cow traps, you know, you throw those on the ground and let a guy walk over them, and he gets hurt from doing that. And then you have all the blueprints. Do not be one of those guys who, like, I need to buy every single blueprint right off the bat. Remember, you can't use half of these things anyways. Like, you just don't have the skill to use the assault rifle yet, or the hand grenades and the mines or anything like that. So buy the ones you absolutely have to have, and then wait on the other ones. But you'll see that some of them are in green, some of them are in white. The ones in green are a higher version of that item. The ones that are in white are the plain version of that item. So that recipe in white is not going to be as good as the one in green, and so on and so forth for the different colors as you go through the spectrum. You got some Rat Hound leather armor. Don't buy those yet. You're going to be able to make that armor as soon as you get the recipe and start picking up some of the Rat Hound, the leather pelts and stuff like that, if you've gone down the right skill tree, which we have. So we'll definitely be able to make some of that. We also got the bolts. Bolts are cheap, and you don't get very much money for them. And then you got all these different types of bullets. You can see he doesn't have a whole lot of bullets in here. So you got to be very sparingly which ones you use, and really pick out the ones you absolutely have to. There's the regular ones, there's the JHP, the W2C rounds. Each one does something different to different targets. Some of them are good against armor, some of them are good against flesh. So really know who your enemy is and what you need to use in that. So we're going to go ahead and equip our gun, drag it down here to the bottom. You do want to click on it. What did he do? Go ahead and click on it. I'm trying to... do I not have any ammo for it? What kind of ammo? 5mm? I do have 5mm. Let's see, 5mm. Let's go ahead and reload current weapon. You can see I'm reloading it right there. And then you'll see your ammo is actually down here on the bottom. Something you want to make sure that in between fights, it is absolutely, positively, completely, and totally reloaded, guys. Because if it is not, and you get into a fight and you have to stop and spend your actual action points to reload your weapon, you're gonna hate yourself for it. You're gonna take extra damage that you did not need to take. Now we have some shelves over here. They are searchable. We can actually look through them. Of course, there's nothing there, like I said before. And then you have Gorski. So let's go ahead and talk to Gorski here. The tall, imposing figure of this battle-scarred veteran towers before you. You meet Gorski before. He is one of the counselors that interviewed you when you first arrived. So you passed all Tanner's little tests and exercises. That could not have been easy. But don't think you're some kind of hotshot now. You are yet to deserve the privilege you've been given. I'm looking forward to the opportunity. I understand. Yeah, whatever, Pops. So we can be very eager. We can be like, oh, I understand, very, very reserved, very, willing to learn, but still at the same time understanding that it's, going to be a long and hard journey. Or you can be like that young whippersnapper, and be like, basically, I don't care, stop wasting my time kind of thing. But we're going to go right down the middle because I haven't tried that one before. He nods. So why are you here? I'm here for some target practice or nothing. You know what? We're going to try target practice even though it's going to waste some of our ammo because this was the very first quest. This used to be the tutorial. I don't know what happens when you do it again, but we're going to try it out and see if maybe he gives you like a different option or something along those lines because why not, guys? Go ahead then. Yeah, but how do these consoles work? Okay, I'm off to do some target practice. Let's get a little bit of explanation first, guy. Gorski's eyes gradually move across the range, crowned by a constant, intensified frown. He is alone with you. Well, that could be kind of scary to be alone with this guy. I guess I'll have to do it all right. Look here, it's simple. You can use the console to set the target's distance right, then you start a session. The session will track your hits and misses automatically, so you can check your progress while you shoot. When you've had enough, end the session. What distance do I set? Well, it depends on the weapon now, doesn't it? If you got a rifle, you can set it to its max. Otherwise, try 8 yards. Experiment a little. I had more questions. Okay, I got it. I'll try it now. So what are the consoles? How do I do this again? We're going to say nothing. I guess we're really not going to do it because he didn't really give us anything we really needed to do. You used to have to get 10 shots. You had to land actual 10 shots. So if you came in here and you were going down the melee route and they gave you a gun and you just could not use it very well, you may have to use like all your ammo to get those first 10 shots. Now I guess you don't have to do that anymore. Configure target distance. Let's go with 8 yards, and you can see it kind of moves it a little bit. Start the new session, in session, and then I would attack. And you can see right there I get a 74% chance, and I miss it. I miss it again. I miss it again. Jeez, this guy sucks. How do you suck so bad? You have the skill, dude. You have the skill in your weapon, and you still can't hit the broadside of a barn. That is not very. Oh, I don't know what's gonna happen with this guy. I mean, I almost forgot what it's like to start all over again, because he is going to just suck so bad. But again, guys, I think we're gonna go ahead and end the episode here. If you do enjoy these videos, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. Definitely helps grow the channel, guys, and I greatly appreciate it. Also, make sure to leave those comments down below. I want to know what you guys are thinking about the changes. You can see the subtle ones just in this this area. The floor is different. You know, the targets are a little bit better. He's added some like electronical things in the walls themselves, more like garbage and, you know, crates and just, you know, ambiance to the whole zone itself. I think the lighting is a little bit better too. It's a little bit more natural instead of either just being bright or dark. There's some areas in the middle where the lights are flickering and things of that sort. So they spent some really long hours getting this game up and running. And this whole area over here, I don't remember this being lit up if it was here at all, and I really don't even remember it being here at all. So I kind of look forward to checking this area out at some point. That's gonna be pretty cool. But again, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you all next time.